If you'd like to see more of our videos, please subscribe to our channel on YouTube or follow us here on Instagram. Good morning, traders. Welcome to today's market review. This is Fred Razak at CMtrading. Today's December 10th, 2019. And today is Tuesday morning. So looking at the major economic events of the day, just one event coming out at 12 p.m. South African time. A German ZWE Economic Summit happening today. But in light of the fact that we do have general elections in the United Kingdom this Thursday for a new prime minister, whether it's going to be Jeremy Corbyn, or Boris Johnson, okay, I think that that's going to affect the markets much more than this ZWE number. So I think we're going to hit some quiet before the storm. Now, looking at the markets, it's been quiet. British pound remained strong before the general elections. The euro really pretty much unchanged. Nothing to really say about it. The Dow Jones retraced just about 100 points. Really nothing really eventful. And looking at the commodities, gold selling off to the bottom of its range. Now this may turn into something, okay? 1460 is where it's trading right now. And if it does break that 1445-ish level, 55-ish level, it may pursue a further decline. Now lastly, looking at the stocks, they retrace on low volumes. So we've seen a rotation in the markets last week, a little bit of a reverberance in the market, and then just low volume starting out this Monday. But I bet your bottom dollar after this Thursday with this vote in the United Kingdom, I'm sure we'll have some more volatility. But let's look at some possibilities today of what could happen. So we're going to take a look at the GBP USD. We're taking a look at a daily chart. We mentioned this last week. There is a minor resistance right here at this 131.81-ish level. Right there is your area. And we're just hugging it, okay? This may be just being propped up before this vote this Thursday. So keep that in mind, okay? That also happens very often. The markets rally just not effective to what is happening in the markets, but they rally into the election, and then right after the election, they make a massive decline. So that may actually be producing in front of our eyes right now. Not that the United Kingdom has any kind of change in policy, right? Because throughout this whole move, there's nothing really that's changed in policy. It's just that we're going into some sort of election, and with that, in that kind of election, you have that optimism just resurface. So just keep that in mind. Now we're going to jump into the commodities because not much is happening. Historically, we are in December, okay? Everybody's getting ready for Christmas. Everybody's getting ready for New Year's. So I do expect a little bit of less volatility in the markets. Now, jumping into gold, we nosedive, as you can see here, from 1480-ish level, 1478-ish level, right down here to 1460-ish level. Now, if we do hit this 1448-ish level, like this is something that may develop, okay? It may develop because this has a tendency to just trickle down and then pick up steam once we break that bottom range, okay? But for now, we're still holding it, okay? We're bouncing off of this 1458-ish level. We're trading within this range, and so as long as we're trading within the range, I don't think we'll pursue breaking this 1448. However, okay, the Dow Jones is a very tricky thing right now because we saw the stocks go higher on Thursday, but the Dow Jones didn't break to new highs, where some of the major stocks broke to new highs, like JP Morgan, and I've mentioned this before. And finally, JP Morgan actually retraced yesterday, together with the Dow Jones, okay? Dow Jones trading at 27,919, only off about 80 points from where we rallied into last Friday, and only about 200 points off of our all-time highs. So with that said, okay, we're still very bullish on it. The markets are not going to give it to you all together at one time. But if they see that they start going off, they start challenging these upper limits, and they start picking up, it'll be one stock, and there'll be another stock, and there'll be a third stock. That's the way the market actually rallies. It doesn't all rally together all at one charge, okay? It takes time, okay? It takes rotation. Like I've mentioned this several times before in these presentations. There usually is a rotation. First, it's JP Morgan, or sometimes it's Google that takes us higher. Sometimes it's Microsoft, Apple. And these stocks are really strong. I mean, Apple is a monster, okay, of a stock this past year. JP Morgan is a monster at 135. This thing has gone in just the past year. I mean, we're looking at go from 107 to $100 to $135. It's not a small stock to move to $135. You have to understand, there's millions and millions and millions of shares here that are being traded that are pushing these stocks higher. So, pushing these stocks higher is not easy. Okay, that's the bottom line. So if it's going higher, then you know that it's bona fide buying, and there's some really optimistic fund managers out there that are pumping money into these stocks because they're waiting for that possible or continued growth in these markets. Now, looking at some of the other stocks, Microsoft also close to its highs. We mentioned yesterday, Apple also really rallied to that high yesterday, but taking a nosedive here, as you could see. But you expect it. And the reason you expect it is because tech stocks are more volatile. Okay, the fact that it retraced down to its moving average and just bouncing off of it, previous resistance, two resistances, that's normal. Okay, so if we do retrace a little bit, I do still expect it will rebound at some point. Okay, might not be today, might be not tomorrow. Now, I do want to make one last point where I didn't cover this in the highlights, is that if we look at Bitcoin, is the last one we're looking at, it's pretty much dead. Okay, 7,300. We've been trading around this range for quite some time, not breaking lower. So everything is really low volume. So I do expect some low volume, but then things to pick up after the vote this Thursday, and certainly as we get closer to Christmas time. This is Fred Razak. I want to wish everybody a great trading day. Thank you.